Welcome to See Beneath Your Beautiful, where guests share stories of adversity and perseverance, which inspire, encourage, and challenge us. We embrace these tough conversations, intimately exploring our loves, fears, and hopes with a delicious combination of depth and lightness.
Hi, my name is Sara Im. Right now I live in Florida, but I grew up in Cambodia. And I gone through a very difficult time in my life when my country fell into communism. And when the communists took over our country, they took all of us captive, treat us like prisoners, and all of us struggled to survive for 4 years. But I'm just so thankful that I made it through.
About how old were you at that time?
I was 21.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And were you living with your family, your parents?
At that time, I was attending college in the big city while my family are in another city.
Okay.
In the smaller city and far away from each other. I was about over 300 miles away from my home. Mm-hmm. And they come in, they shut down everything. That means everything, including the bus line or airplane. I cannot go home. I was stuck.
Did your parents and all your family survive?
My immediate family survived. I lost a few uncles. I lost a lot of my cousins.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're discussing the killing fields. Is that correct? Is that the name of what happened?
Yeah.
Could you just tell me a little bit about your experience during those 4 years? Whatever you want to share.
Yeah. During the captivity, I was held in a well-watched camp, a work camp.
Okay.
It's not surrounded by wall or barbed wire or anything like that, but surrounded by soldiers that have big guns.
Yeah.
If we do anything wrong, it just, automatic weapon will kill us.
Right.
So that kind of environment. And we were pushed to work so hard in the intense hot sun. The heat in Cambodia, it's in the average about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So we were working in that heat all day long. Imagine when we are here in the summer, we just can get out a little bit. We almost get burned, right?
Right.
There we were. We were working day after day, 7 days a week. And we were exhausted. Mm-hmm. And giving only very little food. It's not enough. We were hungry all the time. They work us too hard that we don't have enough time to sleep. So it's the combination of everything. Lack of sleep, lack of rest, lack of food, and heat. So we become sick. That means many of us in the camp got sick. Mm-hmm. So I contracted a few illness, the serious illness that could have killed us. Mm-hmm. I have disease like malaria, typhoid, high fever, and my body was swelling all over and then emaciated. So every time when I was puffed up and then emaciated, I lose so much weight in just a very short time, like 10, 15 pounds each time. So the drastic loss of weight in a very short time made me very, very weak. I was extremely exhausted. I keep doing that, puff up and emaciate, puff up and emaciate until I lost all the weight I can lose. And I still had to go to work in that condition. If we don't go to work, we don't have anything to eat. It's their rule. Until when I cannot work anymore, they sent me to a different place. And they call it a hospital. But when I got to that place, it's not really a hospital. It's a place for me to just stay away from the working people And then actually I will die.
I see.
Yeah, there's nothing to help me.
Do you think you survived because you were young and ultimately started out healthy?
I was young and I was dreaming about going back to my family.
Mm-hmm.
I had that goal. I did not want to give up. When I was extremely sick and waiting for time to die, I started to pray. At that time, I believed that there is God. I was still young. I was not in the religion or anything. But when the time came, I realized that there is God and I believe. So I start to pray. Many nights I pray at night. So eventually I feel a little bit better and I got out from that place. I sneak out because if I didn't do it, I will die.
And that place wasn't guarded so heavily because it was just a hospital.
Yeah, because all of us are too sick, so nobody cares.
Right.
We are going to die anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of sick people. So if I keep staying in there, I will get more and more disease. I escaped from that place and it seemed like God was watching out for me. I met this young team leader and she saw me coming out and she took me in her group and she said, you can stay with me. I might find something for you to do. And then she realized I'm too sick. I can't stay there. Mm-hmm. Eventually, she found me a job in the kitchen. It's like God planning for me. I was given a job to work in the kitchen. It just helped out cutting vegetable and prep and all that, just help with the preparation. When I work in the kitchen, it's wonderful because I don't work as hard as in the field.
Right.
I don't work in the heat. I work under the shade and I work less hour and I have more food to eat. So a combination of everything, I become better. I feel better and better. Mm-hmm. So eventually I felt much better. About 6-7 months later, I looked good and they saw me strong enough. They pulled me out and pushed me back to work in the rice field again. Mm. So, yeah. And I start all over again. My health start to decline again. So gradually, a little bit at a time, but at least I have this break, a big break to work in the kitchen that without that opportunity, I probably didn't make 4 years. Toward the end of 4 years, they moved the camp, moved toward the jungle. When I realized that they are moving us in the direction to the deep jungle, I realized my goal to go back home to find my family, I think this direction is not going to help me. Mm-hmm. It's the wrong direction for me. So God gave me a courage to think about escape. So I think seriously about escaping, and I get 3 close friends to run away with me. And this is a very dangerous, it's a deadly escape. If they ever find us, automatic gun will shoot us right away. Right. No chance. But we are willing to risk our life because if we don't get out, there's no life anyway. We wait until nighttime and we sneak out. We try to think about backtrack of where we came from. But it's very hard because it's very dark at nighttime. But we just want to make sure that we are careful not to let the guard. They have guard and looking and watching to make sure that, no danger, nothing. So we just, very quietly and sneak out. Although we didn't know where to go, but we are willing to go. We were walking all night long, all night in the jungle. And then finally, when the morning come and we realize that we are out of their environment, far away from them. So we keep walking until we get to the village and we ask for direction to go to my hometown. Mm-hmm. we keep walking. I mean, a long, long, long walk, a few weeks of walking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And finally, I got to my hometown, and it's a long journey, but to keep this conversation short, I just said, finally, I found my family.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized the whole country had been liberated about 4 months before I escaped. That's why the camp that control us keep moving us away from where we were, because they know there's something changed. They took all of us with them. I'm grateful that I have that courage to get out. If not, I would probably still in the jungle by now.
I'm sure it was a wonderful reunion with your mom and your parents. And
Yeah.
how did you end up in Florida?
There's a few steps before I got here.
How did you get there?
Yeah, after I reunited with my family, they nurtured me to good health again. It took more than a year for me to recover my health. When I first got to my home, to my family, I was just bone and skin. My family didn't recognize me. I lost all my weight, bone. So it took a whole year to recover. After that, my mom realized that our country is still in a chaotic situation. We lost everything. There is no government. There's nothing, no structure. And it's danger, a lot of danger also. So my mom pushed me out. She said, honey, you need to get out from the place so that at least one of us will be out there. Maybe with God help, you can come back and help out the family. That's her original idea. It was heartbreaking for her to let me go, and I was heartbroken. I didn't want to live. For the 4 years, I was dreaming of this time together with my family. And now I had to go again, but the circumstance pushed me out. So I had to escape. The way to escape is because my hometown is now extremely far from Thai border. So I made plan. My mom had a cousin who also need to go to that direction. So with my mom's cousin, we traveled to the border. And then when we got close to the border, we had to walk. We had to more like an escape.
Yeah. Like kind of cross the border illegally.
Yeah, cross the border. There are a lot of landmines along the border. We had to be careful. And the Thai, on the other side where the border is, there are a lot of soldiers. They guard their border. They don't want people to come. They can kill you, or they can take you and put in a jail. But we were very careful, and I remember rolling in the mud, in the water, and so that when the big flashlight turn to our way, they don't see us. It's a big risk, but finally we got out from the border and we crossed over to Thai border and we found a refugee camp. The camp was set up by the United Nations, and we were able to get in and register and find some help there. And my mom had a cousin who came to United States a long time ago as a student. All I know is his name. He did a search. But during that time, the American Red Cross was very helpful.
Oh, good.
To connect family, to connect the lost people. So I tracked down my mom's cousin and we made connection, and he sponsored me to come. I started out in Connecticut because he used to live in Connecticut, but he had to take a new job outside of Connecticut. So he moved out before I arrived. but he made arrangement with his church. He belonged to a church, and the church kind of take over. When I came, they was very kind. They was very tremendous, very helpful to help me get started. So my beginning in United States was very hard, very challenging. I had to learn the language. I had to find a job to support myself. And then I still did not give up on school. As soon as I learned a little bit language, I go to take GED class, and I took exam and I passed it, and then I registered for college.
Awesome.
Yeah, at the beginning, I thought that my brain probably would not let me do anything because I just could not remember anything.
Yeah.
I forgot everything. I thought that I had amnesia. I tried to remember people's name, tried to remember this, that, nothing come back. I was just questioning myself, will I be able to do anything? Eventually, I remember something. So I was able to pass the GED test and able to register for college. And at the beginning, I start out with one class at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized, oh, I can take it. I can handle it. And then one day I calculate, oh, one class, I get 3 credit here and there. Oh, how many years will I graduate? I woke up very quickly. Oh no, it will take me 15 years.
So how long did it take you to graduate?
It took me almost 5 years because I took it one class at a time at the beginning.
Yeah.
You start from counting from the beginning until I graduated. It's almost 5 years. But I also work full time because nobody paid for my tuition and
right.
know anything about a student loan or grant or anything. I did not know anything about that.
Yeah.
I totally support myself and work to pay for my own tuition.
What did you get a degree in?
Mathematics.
And what do you do with your degree? Do you do anything with it? I mean, what is your career?
In Connecticut, in Hartford, they say Hartford is the capital city of the insurance company.
Oh, yeah.
And I was dreaming about becoming an actuary. Actuary, the one who calculate the premium and everything, study the loss and anything to do with insurance, because I enjoy math. And I think math's the only thing that I can do because my English was very poor.
I see, yeah.
When I look back, I think back and say, what did I learn from my math degree? I did a lot of problem solving. I'm good at problem solving.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
My goal is to get college degree because you know what? There is a story why I was so determined to get a college degree.
Why is that?
At the beginning, when I arrived in Connecticut, I want to find a job, right? So the ladies from the church took me to apply for different jobs. And then we applied for other jobs. Okay, I understand that they don't want me because my English was very bad. There's no English. It's just like I understand a few words. So at one job, it's the cleaning job. There's the housekeeping job. And I couldn't even get that job. That made me so mad, so upset. I said, that's it. I can't stand anymore. Mm-hmm. I need to get a college degree.
I see. How did you learn English?
Go to the adult class, the ESL, the English as a second language.
You're sounding good now. I don't know what you sounded like then.
You should have listened to me when I first started.
That's cute. So you went through some very traumatic things. I mean, I apologize for not knowing much about the killing fields, but I did do some research and it just made me think of the Holocaust, which I do know about. Is that comparable? And it killed almost 2 million people? Or 2 million people died with starvation too.
The 2 million people, some of them died of disease, some of starvation, and some of them died of homicide. They killed a lot of people because the connection with the previous government and all kinds of things. They accuse us of anything.
Yeah. And I saw that women and children and then whole families, so that there would be nobody of retribution. So going through that, you certainly seem to have a nice positive attitude now. And I know it's been many years, but how did you heal yourself or find the good in the world?
Time helped me to heal also.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 40 years now.
Mm-hmm.
But my thinking is this: I am grateful. I'm grateful that I'm alive. I'm grateful that I make it through.
Mm-hmm.
Grateful that I didn't get beaten up. If you look back and look for all the good things, that's where my gratitude comes from. I'm grateful that what I have, I'm grateful for my family that they keep me alive in my heart. That's why I never give up.
Right. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Is that what you want people to know? Is that how to heal? Is to be grateful and have gratitude? I mean, I think that's it.
That's one big piece of healing, because if you are happy, you're not happy that thing happened, but you're happy that you didn't get destroyed.
Right.
Also, forgiveness. Forgiveness is the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Still hold on to the anger and the bitterness and how I lost everything, how miserable I had been through for 4 years. If I keep thinking of that, I will never be happy.
Right.
So there's a contrast. You look for something good to be grateful for. And then something that is not so good, something that painful, that hurt, you find a way to forgive, because you don't want to keep that painful thing in your heart for a long time, because it's dangerous. It's not good. It's not going to be helpful anyway.
I appreciate what you're saying.
So that's part of my healing.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes something else pop up. You think about it, but you have to get out of the negativity quickly. I don't want to let it stay in my mind too long.
Yeah.
It's painful. It's hard. I'm not glossing it over like nothing happened. No, I acknowledge it. It happened, but it's just an event. It's already passed.
I really love that. Is there anything you did to help you get there?
My busyness, my get on with my new life, rebuilding my new life, try to achieve all I want to achieve, try to get my degree. And the big thing is try to get my family over.
Mm-hmm.
And when my family crossed over the border and they get into the camp, but the camp was closed. So my family get into trouble because they get into a new country illegally. And I try to sponsor them, but the paperwork doesn't work because they are not registered in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Immigration, the problem solving. I worked more than 5 years. I did everything. It kept me going, and I got some help, but we had to contact the congressman, the senator, and get the petitions. A lot of hard work. And we took the delegation trip back to Thailand. The senator was so kind to send his aide, to allow his aide to take a delegation trip with us to Thailand, to Bangkok, to find out what is holding them back, why things doesn't move. And we found out that because of their status, they had to wait until I become a U.S. citizen. I had to sponsor them directly as an immigrant instead of as a refugee.
I see.
So I had to be responsible for them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, I am busy. I'm building up a new life. I work full time. I get my degree because I need to be finished with what I need to do. When my family come, I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
With all that, I did not have time to think back about the problem in the past. I have a lot of problem right now.
Yeah. So did it take 5 years, but then they were able to come?
Yeah, finally. So I arrived in the United States in 1981. They arrived in 1989.
Oh, okay. That took quite a while. How old are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in my late 60s.
And are your parents still alive?
My dad is still alive. He's still in Cambodia, but my mom passed on 10 years ago.
And did he go back to Cambodia?
My dad never came.
Oh, okay.
My mom and my 3 brothers came.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is like the leader. She gathered my brothers. Everybody came with her.
Mm-hmm.
Toward the end of her life, maybe like 13 years, she lived with me, and I became a full-time caregiver because of her health condition.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you had that time with her.
Yes, I put everything on hold, and nothing is more important than my mom's life.
Right.
That's the only time I have with her.
Right. I lost my mom when I was 18, so I'm glad you had that time with her, even if it was hard, taking care of her and she was ill.
Yeah.
Are you promoting anything? Are you just hoping to get your story out there?
Yes, I'm promoting my book. This is my book.
Oh, okay.
How I Survived the Killing Fields.
Okay.
I wrote this book 7 years ago, and I did not intend to write a book, but it's just circumstance, one idea after another. So I'm glad I get it done.
Yeah.
So now I'm become a speaker. Can you believe that? Somebody who didn't speak English and now become a public speaker.
I love that you're like sort of the American dream. You can really do anything.
Yeah.
The dream, it doesn't have to be American dream. It's just, that we can accomplish so much more than we think we can.
Yeah, yes. When you put the limit, you say, oh, I can't do that. If you put the limit, that's the end.
Yeah. I've just been realizing that about myself, that I've been saying things that aren't true anymore about myself. Like, I can't talk in front of people. Well, that is true of me 20 years ago, but not so much anymore.
Right.
And so it's funny how we believe the things that might have been true about ourselves at one point, but are no longer true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how can people purchase your book?
My book is available on my website only.
Okay.
SaraIm.com. SARAIM.com/book.
Okay. And I'll put that on the show notes also.
Also, if they want me to come and speak at their event, they can also just go to my website, SaraIm.com. They will find my contact information. They can email me. I list my event there where I will be speaking. They can follow me. They can email me.
I think it's so important to get your story out. I'm really thankful that you shared it with me. It's amazing what we have to go through, how cruel the world can be. But I just so appreciate that you're not living in that space. And that's the goal of my podcast, is that we've all gone through things and that we can come out the other side. And you're really the prime example of that.
Yes, yes. I want to encourage people that difficult time will not last. But you do. You do. There is a phrase that says, tough time never lasts, but tough people do.
I like that.
And we have to believe that something will be better. Without faith, you become pessimistic.
Yeah, yeah. No matter what I've gone through, no matter how hard it's ever been, I'm always okay. I'll always be okay in the end.
Yeah.
Everything I've ever gone through, I'm still okay.
Yeah.
Really appreciate your positive attitude that It's in the past and I have the ability to think differently about it.
Good. I'm glad. Everything it starts from our mind, start from our thinking.
Right.
We have to take care of our own self in order for us to continue to be well. So take care of ourselves, start with our own mind.
Like you're saying, you can look back and see all the trauma of it, or you can look back and see what you're grateful for. And I just really appreciate that. I really do. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Yes, like when I lost everything, I still appreciate that I didn't lose my life.
Right. It's just making sure to see the beauty in every day.
Yeah. So like I mentioned earlier, that if you are looking for something to be grateful for, you will find it.
I appreciate that. It was a beautiful conversation. I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Me too. You seem to have a very calm conversation. I enjoyed our conversation.
Oh, good. I appreciate you telling me that.
People told me that I have the calm character. So
yeah, I like that. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for your time as well.
Of course.
It's so nice to meet you.
You too. You too.
Do you do this on your spare time or?
It's a real passion project. I just really think it's important that people can see that people have gone through things and they're okay.
Yes.
The name of the podcast, See Beneath Your Beautiful, it's about, seeing inside of us, and our beauty is our heart and what light we shine into the world. I really like doing that with photography. I have so many women say, oh my gosh, I look so beautiful, and are surprised. So somehow the way I shine the light on them, they can see what I see. It's a real blessing.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us for this week's episode of See Beneath Your Beautiful, hosted by Hara Allison. And thanks for your ratings and reviews. We'll be back next week with a new episode. Stay tuned.